How you doing? I know I know we talked yesterday evening, kind of gave you a little bit of a heads up that today was going to be rough. Hopefully the warning allowed you to kind of see what was going on today with a little bit more a grain of salt or a little more appreciation for what's going on. Today's big news, at least for me, is as you know, I reside in the Santa Clara County. We are now on, I guess you call it a lockdown. Only essential travel, stay inside, flatten the curve, all that stuff that you've probably seen out there. Some of you have thought this was not a thing. Well, they just put the entire Silicon Valley essentially on lockdown. In fairness, if you've been watching this channel, I've been acting that way for about a week now. Hence, a lot more videos are coming out because I got nothing to do all day. So, that's good, I guess. So, we're staying busy. But I want to talk about, if you're in the Silicon Valley, if you or in the next couple of days, if we institute a national, I want to call it, a national holiday. The people in Washington need to market better, right? Words matter, spin matters, right? So I want to call it a national holiday. If you happen to be like the Bay Area and get, the nation gets put on a holiday, let's call it a holiday. What are you going to do to take advantage of it, right? Essentially, the federal government's going to say, you know what? Stay home for a couple of weeks, spend time with your family, exercise, clean up the garage, do that honeydew list. And I'm hoping, oh, by the way, they're going to give us a little bit of money. They're going to say, thank you for your troubles. We're sorry this happened. Oh, by the way, if they ever get off their ass, they're going to institute some acts or powers to help the workers on works on tips that are part of the small business. We have some people in dire straits. Living paycheck to paycheck is never a good thing. The fact is what it is. So I'm very disappointed with the federal government, both sides, everyone, every elected official. The fact that we're now basically into Tuesday and we've done nothing except point fingers, call each other names, and do squat diddly nothing. Not okay. Vote them all out. Just terrible. But that said, I have every confidence that something will happen this week because I think we're all going to get this national holiday and get a chance to take a deep breath. I think when we look back on this years to come, it will be that time where we have reflection. We'll create some memories. Um, we'll find new skills. We'll do new things. So, one thing I wanted to ask or challenge you to think about is what are going to be your daily or weekly goals, right? If you got 2, maybe 3 weeks, stay home, be with family, how do you want to use it? You need to create some rigor. One thing I found when I stopped working was those first couple of weeks were rough. I didn't know what to do. I was going stir crazy. So one of the things that helped me was to create that schedule, that rigorous schedule. So if you're watching this channel, yeah, I think it's going to hit. I think it's going to come to all of California, Alex. As far as hitting Fresno, I think it goes to I think it'll be California wide, if not nationwide, here pretty soon. But again, what are you going to do? Think about it. Get ready for it. Are you going to exercise? Well, what kind of exercise, right? Because your gyms are closed, right? Are you going to do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks? I don't know. Think about it. What do you have that you could use? If you're watching this channel, you're probably interested in real estate. I want you to pick a market, pick a zip code, start looking at it. You are given a gift. You could make these 2 weeks. You could go through my entire course in twice and really learn how to understand what a bad, average, good, and great deal is. That could change your future. You can really build a skill to evaluate real estate in 2 weeks. But even if it's not real estate, I hope you do something. Learn to paint. Take a new language. I don't know, clean the garage, do something, right? Make this productive. Don't just sit your butt on the couch, watch Netflix, or check out Instagram posts. Let's do something. Let's get better. We always talk about, I work so hard so I can spend more time with family. guess what? You're going to get that gift, I think, here pretty soon. And in the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, we got it. So interesting stuff. Again, just so you know, this all turns into a podcast called One Rental at a Time. All of these videos, so we get a mass upload every Saturday. If you like watching or listening to podcasts, these all become podcasts. So check them out. I am more convinced than ever this great volatility we've seen. I think the last 6 trading days have all been 1,000 point moves, and they're actually getting worse. Right? Today was nearly 3,000 points. Last week we were shocked at 2,000. The week, then it was 1,000. I really think, like we talked about this morning, and if you don't know, I do my first video live stream in the morning, usually around 7:30. It's the index funds. These index funds and ETFs and triple leverage derivative. There's so much money in those that I think that is causing this wild swings in the stock market because there's too many people in the movie theater, like I talked about this morning, and we can't get out. And then when they get out, everything goes down. That's why this stuff has been so orderly. That's why everything's down 12% and then 15% and then 17%. So I am, what percentage? 99% certain that as we turn this corner, you need to be buying individual stocks instead of index funds. Index funds, I think, are going to be proven not to be great things when everybody yells fire in a movie theater. You just can't get out. There's too much volume. The individual stocks are not liquid enough. There's not enough buyers. The index funds and ETFs dwarf individual stocks. And man, the liquidity. We did it to ourselves. ETFs and index funds just got too easy. Wall Street made too much money. We got too fat, dumb, and happy. And we're paying the price again. My gosh, we do this a lot. Then I think it is very clear that the government is going to come in and, quote, bail companies out. First, whoever's writing their goddamn speeches, stop calling it a bailout. Say that you're buying a position in a company. Go buy the position. I want you, Mr. or Mrs. Federal Government, to buy 10%, 20% of Boeing when it's cheap. I want you to buy at the bottom. Then, 10 years from now, when Boeing's cranking again, you can sell it and pay off our national debt or put it towards our national debt. You're going to be bailing out the airlines. You're going to declare in the next week all planes grounded. At which time you're going to say, oh, by the way, we have just backstopped, bailed out the airlines. Stop it. Go take 20% of every airline and buy at the bottom. Be Warren Buffett on steroids. Stop calling it a bailout. You're going to help the cruise line. They have all shuttered their cruises through May or June. You're going to own 20% of the major cruise lines. I think there's 2 or 3. Great. Buy at the bottom. Then there's the small businesses. We've got to crank this up. Small business, SBA needs help, needs resources. I hear mandates, 50 billion this when they normally do $1 billion. They don't have enough people. We need more people to help them. I don't know who does that. Do we enlist universities to? I don't know. But let's get creative. We are in a national crisis. Let's beat this thing back. I think that's right. Why don't you go to the top 20 MBA schools, take all their second year students and say, you know what? You're working for the Small Business Association for the next 90 days as internship. You'll get college credit. Go. And oh, by the way, you can work from home. All this stuff's freaking online now. Let's get creative. And please, I'm going to keep saying this until we do it. Let's build some freaking triage centers all across the country. Let's build 100. Even if we don't need them, we can build some confidence out there. We need a triage center so we stop sending potentially sick people to the emergency room and getting other people sick. If you have a temperature, go here, and then you'll get triaged, and then we'll go to take you to the hospital. That was something they did in China that worked extremely well. Let's copy what worked. The other thing I saw today, and again, you have to believe the news, but China business is rebounding 3 months later. Now, they put some very harsh things on their citizens and locked them down. We are clearly not open to doing that in the U.S. So maybe our rebound isn't as soon, but you can get by this again looking at the data. The question is, no doubt, I think we're going to be in a global recession. As I talked with Anna Kelly earlier this morning or this afternoon, whatever. I'm not convinced we'll have a U.S. recession. I do think we'll have 6 months of negative growth. I just think those 6 months will likely be over 3 quarters. So statistically speaking, we may not have 2 negative quarters. That said, I think Q2 is going to be negative 10%. It'll be double digits. It'll be the worst of my lifetime. It is going to be horrific. Goldman Sachs, gotta like Wall Street. They came out and said another 16% down, which I think is about 3,000 points on the Dow. We're doing the math quickly in my head. But then a quick recovery. I don't know where they get this stuff, but I guess you have to say something. And then again, 0% from the Fed Sunday emergency release. I got a lot of folks about mortgage rates having, yay, mortgage rates are going to go down. I actually talked to a couple of bankers today, and they're not going to go down much. Banks have basically fixed costs that need to be covered. And if they take rates down much below 3%, and many won't be able to take it that low, they're just simply not profitable loans. So that's kind of scary. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jorge. Be safe in Houston. Hopefully you don't go on quarantine, but I got to tell you, I think this is coming to everybody in the U.S. So take advantage of it, Jorge. Spend some time with family, exercise, learn real estate. Let's turn this negative into a positive. We got it. That's the American way. Figure the silver lining out. Let's have some fun. Let's be better. Let's lose some weight. Let's hug our kids. Talk on the phone. You know what? Talk on the phone. Pick up the phone and call some people. Oh wow, 2.8, Alex. Woo! Wow, that's cheap. Must be owner occupied. That must be for your primary residence. I've yet to hear of anybody getting a 2 point anything for an investment loan, but maybe you did. And if you did, yeah, you should have locked that up. That would have been a good rate. In the end, so that's what I got this evening. I do see more pain ahead this week. I looked at the market this evening. It looks like they want to bounce. I mean, how could you not bounce? The market falls down 3,000. Of course, it's going to bounce. I think we're lower by the end of the week. The federal government could change this. They could come out tomorrow morning and say, we are giving unemployment to anybody affected, no questions asked. We are giving 3 months to anybody who has kids. The federal government has the power to fix this. They've just proven to be, oh man, what do I want to say here? They're almost heartless. I really do think they're heartless. Both sides, just so you know, they both suck. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they all suck. If you're in office today, you're not doing enough to help your people. But I do believe that the masses will eventually rattle their cages and they'll do something. God, I hope it's tomorrow. I hope it's Tuesday. I really do. I really, really do. But we'll see. So in the end, I will be up tomorrow bright and early talking to you. Just realize this is a gift that not many people get, right? We do live in the greatest country. We do have the option. Shoot, we have high-speed internet. Let's spend some time with the kids. Call your parents. See what's going on. Call your friends. Let's just have a good old time. All right, everybody. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the evening. Bye.